Good evening, everybody. YouTube. Once again, it's three middle-aged dudes. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
We are back with our final video of the night, and we're going to talk about the a little bit of movie news from the Warner Brothers camp. They've actually went out of their way to shake up quite a few things. Earlier this week, they set up their brand new DC movie division, which is going to be handling all of their movies based off the DC comics. Previous to that, not this last week, but the week before that, there was an announcement that Ben Affleck was actually going to be stepping in as executive producer for the Justice League movie, kind of wresting away a lot of the creative control that Zack Snyder has. He's not going to be the sole creative person. And then that was followed very shortly after with the announcement that there was going to be a new DC movies division within Warner Brothers that's going to be handling and overseeing solely the DC comic book movies that are planning on coming out. Not surprisingly, everybody's saying that this is because of the reaction to the last few DC movies that they've been using to bolster up their particular cinematic universe. Namely Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. Yeah, quite a few things to sit there and get them back on track, or actually get them on a place where they can, get them to a place where they're going to appear competitive, at least, with Marvel and their cinematic offerings. What are your thoughts?
Not catching up to Marvel.
Well, with me, the less control Zack Snyder has, the better.
But you're going to get that fucking Ben Affleck control? Fuck that guy.
Well, at least he's a real fan of the fucking comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not talking about his politics or as a person in general. But as a fan and a movie maker, he's actually a pretty good movie maker.
You almost killed Superman with a spear.
That wasn't under his direction.
Zack Snyder, baby.
People said him being there, he could have put in some input about the character and so on. People made that excuse about Ben Affleck when he was first cast as Batman.
Well, now, one thing too is that I've heard it several times that Ben Affleck wasn't a bad Batman. He played the Batman part. It was just Zack Snyder. We've all heard that recently that Zack Snyder wanted a more darker Batman movie, Batman vs. Superman movie than what we got. So I'm kind of thankful that it wasn't as dark as what his Zack Snyder's plans were, because if you could just imagine. I mean, there's already bad enough backlash for the movie itself, but I just, like I said in the beginning, I'm just glad that less Zack Snyder less control he had over the next couple of movies, the better. And like Reverend was saying, he's a fan of the comics, so I have more faith in him doing the correct thing and portraying the characters the way they need to be portrayed than I do of Zack Snyder. I mean, Zack Snyder, to be honest with you, I'm surprised he hasn't got fired. I would have fired him. That's just my opinion.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not. The funny thing about the Ben Affleck news was that I had an inkling. Me and my buddy Versus, we went ahead and we were talking about this, and we were saying that maybe if there was somebody else around to go ahead and handle the creative vision for the movies, it might work out better for Warner Brothers. And then we heard the news about Ben Affleck stepping in as being one of the executive producers for the Justice League movie, and that hinted at other things. Now, the news that kind of gets me pretty interested is the fact that they went ahead and they set up the DC Films division with John Berg and Jeff Johns at the head of it. John Berg is a WB executive VP of films, and Jeff Johns is a current chief content officer who's overseen the majority of the DC licensing across all other media, like video games, TV. He has been the go-to guy within comic books. He's got a screenwriting and also a comic book pedigree. He's been one of the main creative guys. He's actually the guy who succeeded in making Aquaman a character that you can take seriously as far as the comic books go. Granted, it took him a good 3 to 5 years to go ahead and cement that, but he was able to do it. Now, having them at the head of the DC Films movie unit, it puts them in a position like with the Marvel Studios. They have Kevin Feige and his creative council and all of those guys who are tied closely to Joe Quesada and some of the other creative dudes who handle creative content directly from Marvel comic books, influencing, hey, this is how the movies, if this is how they should be carried out. Not saying that this is how they're gonna go plot point for plot point, but this is the type of tone that they should have. These are how the characters should portray themselves, and this is the type of thing that we want to go ahead and push forward into continuity, so that not only people are going to be looking forward to the next movie, but they're also going to be interested in reading our fucking comic books.
Yeah. Well, with me, when we did the Civil War review, one thing that really got me with the Civil War was the like I said before, and the theme said before, I sat in the theater. I was like, yeah, that particular character would do something like that. And then, yeah, that particular character would react to this situation, or that particular character, that's the way they would react. And if DC can find that same formula, yeah, I'll go out and see their movies, But with that garbage that's called Batman versus Superman, there was no character reaction. It just felt like they were just cramming as many people. I'm not going to rehash what we've already said, but so now that DC is made this new division, so I hope that would be one of their goals, is to create character reaction and with each other and within the world that they're, Aquaman world or Wonder Woman or whatever, and I just hope that they can figure it out, because, I'm a fan of comic books. I've been a fan of comic books since I was able to read, and I don't want to see DC fail. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see Marvel fail. I don't want to see the things that I grew up with and that has, 75 years of. I'm not about that. No, I just want to see good shit. And this is a positive direction, in my opinion, that DC is doing. And I mean, they have to rein in on something, because right now, as is, I don't think they're going to be able to survive another flop like they did with Batman. I'm not saying a flop per se. It did make money, but a flop to the fans, saying that what kind of garbage did I just watch? That type. So I find this very encouraging that this is, that DC or Warner Brothers, for that matter, is putting these safeguards in place. So we'll have to see what this will do. I mean, we got Wonder Woman coming out, right? What's the next one in DC? Is it Wonder Woman or
Suicide Squad is coming?
No. Well, yeah, but that's already been made. So I'm talking about
Wonder Woman, and then Justice League Part 1. Okay.
So hopefully that now that this department is in place, that they can take what they learned from this movie and apply it to Wonder Woman and make a good fucking movie.
Well, the thing with Wonder Woman is that it's already done production. In fact, it finished up production before they announced the new division.
Oh, really? I thought it was still in production.
No, it's already done with production. They finished up production, I think.
But that doesn't stop them. That doesn't stop them from editing it or changing parts in it.
Yeah, the one thing that they've went out of their way to talk about was they were saying that they wanted somebody to go ahead and change the overall tone of the movies. And one of the things that Jeff Johns, when he was asked about the new position and everything, about the new division, the two things that he kept on saying over and over to the folks who were interviewers and stuff like that is that they want to bring back a sense of optimism and joy to the movies. Which, all right, let's just be honest. I've heard people go out of their way. A lot of folks who are diehard DC fans go out of their way and say, but I can't stand the slapstick, lighthearted joke a minute thing that Marvel does. But here's the thing: they're movies. If people enjoy them, they're going to come back and see it, and they're going to come back and see more. The problem with the DC movies, as they've been put out by Warner Brothers, ever since Christopher Nolan did Batman Begins, was that after Batman and Robin, when people pretty much said that particular IP as a movie is fucking dead, as a franchise is dead, and Nolan picked it up almost a fucking decade later to go ahead and put out his version. Guess what? It fit and it worked because it was Batman. But that doesn't mean that particular tone or mode of storytelling fits
to be applied to everything.
For every fucking character out there. Mm-hmm. And then you have Zack Snyder, who sits there and goes, well, hey, look, if Chris Nolan doesn't want to go ahead and do that job, I can go ahead and I can continue on the same tone. In fact, I could make it even darker and grimmer. Shit. Look, Batman spent some time in jail at the end of Dark Knight Rises. Fuck, I would have had him raped in jail. And no, I'm not kidding. I wish I was. That was the
a rape scene with Batman and dudes would be so fucking out of place and with no point to it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I have yet, even in the Wonder Woman cartoon, even in the cartoons, I have yet to see a dark Wonder Woman. I've yet to see a dark Flash. I've yet to see dark Arrow. No.
That's because if you were to see a dark version of those heroes, they have powers. Well, except Arrow. Yeah. It would not make any sense because they will be villains at this point.
Exactly.
You're telling me that the Green Lantern is going to go dark and go nuts and then just start Xing people out in order to fight a bad guy. You're going to tell me that the Flash is going to scramble molecules of people and go through shit and go through cars and walls and people. If he's chasing someone, if he's so pissed that he just doesn't care anymore and he's going through buildings and people and cars and stuff like that to catch the bad guy, no, it won't work. You're telling me that Aquaman is going to have his trident or whatever and stick everybody that's in his way in order to finish a fight. No, it would not fucking work. These are heroes. They have to behave as such unless it comes to a situation where you have no choice where to annihilate a fucker, and each and every hero should not go through that. They should not go through that at all because it will destroy their inner character. It will
take the same thing
inside. They should come maybe with the decision, but they should not go into the deep end.
Well, the same thing that happened with the Man of Steel at the end when he killed Lord Zed.
Zod.
Zod.
General
I'm
Zod.
going to say Zod.
You got Power Rangers on the mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently so. But anyway, I mean, come on, man. Anyway, but and when I was when I watched it, I was like, yeah, because I saw it on base, so it was, I paid $5 for it. But I sat there and I was looking at it, and I was like, did Superman just do that? It's like completely out of character, out of context. I mean, he might as well be a villain. Just like you said. I mean, no.
Just like in Civil War, if heroes would have gotten killed, blatantly killed, not some accident shit like there was. Well, I'm talking about just.
If Captain America would have killed Iron Man, then you would be like, no, he would not do that. I mean, he stopped short of it. I mean, when I was sitting in the theater, I was like, what the fuck? But, he stopped short of it. But it just, no. And for the people that say that they're tired of the slapstick thing in Marvel, then you haven't picked up a Marvel comic book. Comic book.
Superman, again, you're not supposed to have this dude killing criminals. Okay, it doesn't.
I mean, if Superman really wanted to, he could. I mean,
right, but you're not supposed to have him killing. Yeah.
And for Zack Snyder to say some bullshit that talk about Batman getting raped.
What he said? What he said about Superman was that he said that Superman pretty much just kind of wanders around reacting not like some dude who doesn't know any better and doesn't know his own strength. And it was like,
I'm done here.
What?
No,
what?
No, I'm about to leave.
Bat rape. No, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to see a movie.
It doesn't even make sense. How in the hell could somebody even get that close to Batman? Batman. It doesn't even make sense.
Batman don't even let women get that close to him. You really need to tell me that dudes are.
That's what I'm saying. How fucking retarded is that?
Okay, that's like Wonder Woman. Okay, look. Unless she can't be out on Earth doing shit, there's no danger. Look, it better be. Look, there better be some magical biblical shit going on in order for her to.
I'm actually surprised.
It's her just going around lassoing, blocking, and fighting and doing shit. It won't fucking work. And
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised they didn't bring Hawk Girl in. Fuck it, why not?
Look, Wonder Woman can't be dark. No, look, what is she gonna do? Just go sorting dudes and swinging them and jettison dudes into space?
How are they gonna do the invisible jet? I mean, come on, dude.
Wait. What is how is her character gonna be? Is she gonna have an essence of comedy, or it's just gonna be fully?
No, it's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's in charge of that too, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they have a different director. But,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Wonder Woman never had that type of character.
Mm-mm. She was a happy-go-lucky type of person, and she cannot be dark. It just
No, look, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to point something out. Wonder Woman, for the grand part of almost 50 fucking years, pretty much spent a large portion of it chasing around Steve Trevor as a love-struck maiden who didn't want to end up being an old hag. All right?
Yeah.
But let's just say that right now. Originally speaking, though, as far as the way that she's set up and all of that, and also the way that they've handled her over the last, I'd say, decade. She's a warrior. She's an Amazon warrior, and guess what? She's out of place being amongst people. All right, she's pretty much, you know, she's a person who's out of time and out of place. But I'm not even gonna worry about her individual movie. In fact, I'm not even worrying about any sort of individual movie within the DC Comics universe, cinematic universe, or the DCEU. What I am worrying about is, okay, what direction and tone are they taking these movies overall, especially if they're going to try to connect them together in some sort of continuity where it unfolds in this huge fucking epic, like their established competition has succeeded in doing. Yeah, you know, and let's just say this right now. The dark, grim, doom overuse of CGI, clouds, and fucking lightning, and with superheroes who aren't fucking superheroes, you have fucking super hypocrite and bat bully going around fucking killing criminals and just causing mayhem and shit like that. Wow. All the while being completely oblivious of the fact that maybe if somebody just, like I said, I'm gonna stop saying this, but my largest fucking obstacle that I cannot let go of that fucking movie, which has prompted all of the changes within Warner Brothers as far as the way that they're handling the DC films, is the fact that you have one guy who's supposed to be the greatest detective in the whole fucking world, the other guy who's supposed to be super intelligent, and neither one could figure out, maybe if I just take 2 minutes to go ahead and sit down and talk to this motherfucker, we don't have to kill each other.
I don't understand that Batman, of all people, is like, okay, this super alien being is on Earth. Why, if he really wanted to take over and kill just every motherfucker here, he would have done it by now?
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said before in our previous videos, you know, I don't mind if DC would have taken 10 years to get to a Justice League movie starting this year. Years, you know, just start it off right, you know, and then work up to you know, to the big climax at the end. Don't try to all this stuff in one movie and then say, okay, here's the Justice League movie. It's not going to work like that. People are, you know, it's obvious it's not going to work like that. So, you know, now, but I think Warner Brothers should put on instead of reshuffling, I think they should put on the brakes and then not put anything out and then, you know, sit at a round table and figure shit out before they start doing this shit again.
They're not going to do that.
I know they're not.
They've already poured too much money into it.
I know.
To stop doing that. They've already got too many things already in motion in order for them to stop now.
Even the X-Men, you know, the way they reset their stuff when they fucked up, even that is going better than expected. You know, you have First Class, you have Days of Future Past, now you have Apocalypse. But you have, okay, they introduced characters and they introduced the situation and then just went forward. But you had this shit, it was like, all right.
Well, the problem is that they didn't introduce the characters. So DC or Warner Brothers assumed that everybody already knew about Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman.
Oh, wait. That, all right.
You know what I mean?
We did already know about those characters. That's fine.
No, I'm talking about
going to see Superman and Batman for the reason.
No, I'm saying more like Marvel. Marvel had, you know, Iron Man movie and
see, the thing about it is they introduced their less known. Let's say if DC would have started first with Green Arrow movie, and then moved on from there. Bruce Wayne shows up after credits.
Yeah.
Then they would have went to the same route as Marvel did with Iron Man, and Nick Fury showing up, and then Iron Man 2 and Thor and fucking
Captain America,
the Incredible Hulk, and Captain America and Thor and Captain America, and then the Avengers, and then they separated again with Iron Man 3, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Thor, the Dark World, and then they're coming in with the Avengers 2 and now with Ant-Man. And they threw all of this stuff together and they kept it going in continuity, and they kept it going that way.
Yeah, they kept the steps. Yeah.
Instead of, introducing Superman and Batman, and you threw Wonder Woman in there with no backstory whatsoever. We knew about her, but we don't know about her.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that people don't know the character.
Look, they should have introduced Wonder Woman first.
Or Green Arrow, like you said.
Or the Flash. And have Bruce Wayne or someone. Look, they should have introduced Superman last.
You know what? They could have done the whole ensemble film thing like they were originally planning on doing. It would have worked out if they would have given everybody a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just say that right then and there.
Yeah, I agree.
But it still would have had to have been in a certain order.
But the thing is,
they could have done it the opposite way. As long as they had a good fucking movie, it would have worked. But the reason why the Marvel model works is because they've chipped away at it for over a fucking decade, and they've been able to teach the cinematic audience, that the movie audience, that this is the type of story that we tell. Guess what? Yeah, I know it's not going to seem like this is ever going to be a final end to a movie, because it's not. It's going to contribute to a much larger story that continues on. The thing with Marvel, though, is that they knew from the outset, this is the type of tone that we want to set. This is the type of thing that we want to set up to get not just our comic book fans to watch, but everybody to fucking watch. And not only that, but they went out of their way and they set it up so that they had to be very meticulous with it. Because let's be honest, Marvel, here's the thing that completely boggles my mind when I sit there and I look at the two. Warner Brothers owns all of the DC IP, so they don't have to worry about any of their star players being owned by anybody else or being made by another studio.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the freedom to pick and choose each and every fucking person they want to go ahead and set a movie up for. Marvel, before the movies came out, they were pretty much trying to scrape by and try to figure out, okay, what do we have that's passing? Because at the time, you got to remember, Iron Man wasn't a popular character.
Right.
Hulk, they didn't know where the fuck he was at, especially after the misfires that he had before. Fucking Captain America, he wasn't even in the top 20 fucking comic books at the time when that was being running.
And Thor,
people were like, dude, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna make a about a fucking hair metal band member with a fucking hammer who flies around. They pretty much, what's amazing about Marvel and their efforts is that they were pretty much able to take trash fucking characters. Guardians of the Galaxy, excuse me, those guys weren't even popular back in the 70s when they were in full fucking run.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man. They were able to take garbage characters and they turned them into fucking gold. You know why? Because they had a vision. And not just a character.
Vision.
Yeah. They had a vision. They had people who were together that they were like, okay, everything's going to be working in one big chain toward one big goal. And they were able to put it together. And the guys that were at the forefront of it were motherfuckers who were tied with the fucking comic book saying, look, you're going to be using our stories.
Well,
so we're going to tell you how it should be translated to the screen.
The beauty thing about Marvel is that the way they did it was if you knew about the comic books, that was a plus. But if you didn't, you didn't have to know about the comic books. You could still go into one of their movies and enjoy the movie. But if you knew this history behind that character, because they stepped with the continuity of that character in the cinematic universe, and that's a bonus.
What made it good, especially after the first Iron Man movie, staying after the credits, Nick Fury showing up, that was it. When Mr. Motherfucker, when Samuel Mr. Motherfucking Jackson showed up as Nick Fury, we were set at that point. As soon as you would mention the Avengers, everybody was like, "Holy shit, this is not over. This is not."
It's bigger than just Iron Man.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So Iron Man 2 comes out, and they introduce Thor's hammer. Then Thor comes out. It introduces the Tesseract, and then Captain America comes out with more of the Tesseract.
Well, I think at the end, wasn't there a shield at the end of one of them in one of the shops? The end credits. I can't remember what that was. Might have been Iron Man 3, I think, because they just had the shield sitting there. And that was before Captain America movie. I don't know which one it was.
It was Iron Man 3. They showed they showed Tony Stark digging through and finding a prototype of Captain America's shield amongst
Iron Man 2.
All of his dad's old shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was Iron Man 3.
That was Iron Man 2, actually.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, because that's when he was
dying of the palladium poisoning. That's right.
Right.
Yeah. But
see, that was the Captain America shield. They had that, and then at the end of the movie, they had Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And they pieced together everything correctly. And it's like, I just don't understand. Why are you not staying into the ending credits at any fucking Marvel movie made by Marvel Studios? But
for the last decade, you should have been.
They have that. And DC, Warner Brothers, they just threw all this shit together. And it's like, you're not even introducing character with the characters that were supposed to be taken seriously. Yes, it's a big deal that they had Batman and Superman on a big screen for the first time ever that wasn't fucking animated. So it was a big deal. But at the same time, there was zero substance between those two characters, except the word fucking Martha.
Yeah.
Then you threw in Wonder Woman, and then you had footage of the Flash, which was stupid. Then you had footage of Cyborg, which was extra stupid with a fucking mother box. And then you had a bullshit way of discovering Aquaman.
I was gonna say Aquaman.
That is pure garbage to me. So how are they gonna do those fucking stories? I don't think that they're gonna do those stories justice. They just told the stories for those people with those little footages alone.
I mean, the issue, the big issue, and this is the reason why they're shaking. They decided to go ahead and shake things up. Is that it's obvious that as a studios, if they're going to be competitive with Marvel, that they're playing catch up. The problem is that you can't sit there and say if you have a good sushi restaurant, all right, that's the best restaurant in the fucking state, that's really fucking famous, and I'm a place that does a fucking buffet. I can't just get fucking sushi from, all sorts of sushi from fucking, I don't know, 7-Eleven or fucking Whole Foods or some shit, throw it out on the fucking buffet and say, oh, we got the same shit that the other guys have, because guess what? I don't have the same shit as other people have, all right? The shit that's over there, it's made better. And it's made by people who knows how to make that shit. All right. So, and that's really kind of where Warner Brothers found themselves. Now, as far as the new shakeup, new films division, guess what? About fucking time. Seriously. They should have been stepping in lock with that in mind ever since the very fucking beginning. I understand Warner Brothers is a very an artist first oriented movie studio and other thing like that. But if they're gonna sit there, they're gonna run an episodic type movie property, into perpetuity, like the comic books, then guess what? That's not anything that you're going to sit there and leave the creative vision to any one fucking person. You know. Any other thoughts, gentlemen, on this?
My closing thoughts are this, just simple. I'm glad for the shakeup and looking forward to seeing the changes.
Yeah. The shakeup, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, honestly.
I'm hoping it does. If they actually let these guys run the movies as they see, not say as they see fit, as they see appropriate, and they actually allow them to handle the creative vision amongst the properties as these guys know the IPs, then yeah, there should be a very obvious difference. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that until probably, I don't know, 2018, the way that things are going. So
that's
right. We'll be at the first Infinity War by then.
Yeah, I know. You know, and DC doesn't have to sit there and say that they're at the same point in the race. Guess what? You're telling a completely different story, DC. So just tell your fucking story. All right, get that out. Tell it well. That's all that any of the fans want.
It might be a remake of Child's Play by then.
Hey, I'm actually surprised there hasn't been already. The way
exactly.
that going. So,
aren't they remaking Scream again, or a Scream TV show?
No, there's a Scream TV show, I think. Yeah.
All right.
That's another conversation for another time.
Right.
With that, thank you, everybody. If you stayed with us this long, almost 40 minutes, if you're so kind, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Subscribe. Check out our channels. Subscribe to them if you like. We are here every week. I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week. So with that, I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
This is Great Mouse 1.
Please reboot this or continue or whatever you're going to do, Warner Brothers. Please do this correctly because that's what we really fucking want. Credits.
Yeah.